Good afternoon, boys and girls. I wanted to take the time. I felt like we rushed through this today, so I wanted to make a little video to go over again proportions before you did your example problems tonight. So I wanted to make sure that I went through this again. Like I said, I felt like I rushed it, so I wanted to make sure that you understood. Now remember, there's three different strategies that you can use to solve proportions. The first one is if there's an obvious scale factor, you can do a scale factor. Now you can do a scale factor for anything, for any proportion, but it's not going to always be a nice even number. It could also be a decimal number, all right? The other strategies that you could use is you could use solving for an equation, okay? So you want to isolate the variable, or you can do cross multiplication and then solve for the equation. So you can choose which one of these is the easiest for you to solve the problem, okay? So that's why you're given three different strategies: your scale factor, solving using an equation, or cross multiplication. All right, so we're also going to remember use our ratio table to set it up in. So we're going to be labeling our ratio table. Now remember, one of these numbers will be an X. So I'm also going to be demonstrating that as well. Okay, so in class, I went over this problem, except for green group. I didn't get to go over this. In the other groups, I wanted to go over it again with you. Okay, so you decide to save $3 for every $20. Suppose you earn $46. How much did you save? So we need to decide what's going on in this problem. Okay, I'm saving money and I'm also earning money. So those are going to be my two labels. So I save $3 for every $20 I earn. Okay? Now it says if I earn $46, how much did you save? So I'm trying to find out how much I save. So that's going to be my X. Okay? And it says I earn $46. So here's my table. I've already set up, this is my equation, 3 over 20 to X over 46. Okay, so I've saved $3 for every $20. All right, so I'm going to solve this. Now, since I'm looking at this, going from 20 to 46 is not a real simple scale factor where I can just, like, if it was 40, I could go 20 to 40 as times 2. So I'm going to solve this as an equation. All right, so I'm going to put this as 3 over 20 equals X over 46. Now remember, when we're solving for an equation, we want to isolate the variable. So this is really 146X. So the inverse of 146, or the reciprocal of 146, is 46 over 1. Okay, inverse actually would be our multiplication. We're using the inverse of division. Okay, so whatever I do to one side, I do to the other side, 46 over 1. Now remember, I'm isolating the variable, so I'm going to divide both of these by 1. So this gives me 1x, because x times 1 is 1. Now, I can simplify before I multiply if I want to. Okay, so I can divide this by 2. Actually, I can divide both of, by 2. 20 into 2 is 10. 20 and 2 into 46 is 23. Okay, so I end up with 69 over 10 equals X. Okay, so now I need to simplify 69 divided by 10. So over here, I'm going to take 10 into 69. 10 goes 6 times, 60. I get 9. Bring down my 0. And 10 into 90 is 9 times with 0 left. So I'm going to save $6.90. So that's solving for X. Okay, this one was the first way, solving for X. Or I can solve for using cross multiplication. So 3 over 20 equals X over 46. So 20 times X, I'm going to multiply. I get 20X. Now remember, I don't have to put that common denominator down. Okay, 3 times 46 is 3 times 6 is 18, regroup. 3 times 4 is 12, 138. Now, I have to solve for x. This is a multiplication problem, so I'm going to divide both sides by 20. Okay, so x equals, and you would get 20 into 138 would give you the $6.90. Okay, so that's how you would solve it for x and for y. I'm sorry, solving it for x using an equation or cross multiplication. Okay, there's actually another strategy which would be unit rate, but so you would find out what it would be for each dollar and then multiply that, but we're going to talk about that later on when we get to unit rate. Okay, I had a student asking me about that today. All right, so if you go to the examples that I gave you on Google Classroom, it says Franco plans to bring an orange for each of his classmates on a school trip. Each bag contains 6 oranges. If Franco wants to provide 36 oranges for his classmates, how many bags does Franco need? Okay, so we're going to set up, so this is example 1. Okay, we're going to set up a ratio table. Okay, just make a big old plus sign and then add another line. So we have oranges and we have bags. Okay, so it says Franco plans to bring an orange for each of his classmates. Each bag contains 6 oranges. So that's our first ratio. 6 oranges to every 1 bag. If Franco wants to provide 36 oranges for his classmates, how many bags does Franco need? Okay, so we're looking for bags. So that is X. Okay, 36 oranges. So on this one here, I'm seeing a very simple scale factor from 6 to 36. I know that 6 times 6 is 36, and I know that 1 times 6 would give me my X. So therefore, you would need, so if you set this up, equals 36 over X. So 6 times 6. So therefore, 1 times 6 would give me my X equals 6 bags. So in this case, the scale factor would be the easiest way to solve this one. Okay, so I want you to try 2 through the other page 5 on solving these, and we'll take a look at these tomorrow to see how you did. Okay, all right, thanks boys and girls. Hi, bright boys and girls. I wanted to add one more thing to, if you remember, the hot dog problem. Okay, I can't show you on here, but how many hot dogs would there be? How many packages of hot dogs would you need, and packages of hot dog buns would you need so that you used all of the hot dog buns? So you can go back to that YouTube and watch. Remember, there's 8 hot dogs in each package, and there's 12 hot dog buns in each package. So how many would you have to buy so that you would use all of the hot dogs and all of the hot dog buns? And so now that you know proportions, maybe you can apply that strategy to solving this as well. All right, as far as if you're the red group, you didn't get to see this, but if you go to Father of the Bride hot dog scene and watch Steve Martin on the scene on YouTube, it's a hot dog showing you how he wants to just buy enough buns for the hot dogs. And so you're trying to figure out how many packages would you have to buy of each to use all of the hot dogs and all of the hot dog buns. Okay, so I will see you all tomorrow.